So in this video, we are going to talk about the basic level of improvising over a 2-5-1 progression, a major 2-5-1 progression. So we discovered in previous videos that in a 2-5-1, all the notes of each chord come from one scale, which is the major scale of the one chord. So let's talk in C major. So D minor 7, G7, C major 7. The notes of C major scale form those chords. So this is a good place to start, using this scale to improvise over this progression. So this is what I'm going to do right now. Have a listen. 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. So, as you can hear, all the notes sound right, they sound correct, but it sounds a little bit samey, especially when the chords accompanying you are changing, but you're not kind of making those changes. You're just playing over one scale, so it sounds a bit vague, and you're not articulating the chord changes. So, the next level up of this is to articulate these chord changes. And we can do this by using the same notes, but in the right places, effectively. So for the D minor 7, we're going to exclusively use the arpeggios. So D, F, A, and C. This is the 1, 3, 5, 7 of D minor 7. And then the G7, we're going to use G, B, D, F. And the C major 7, we're going to use C, E, G, and B. So over those chords, you're only using the arpeggiated notes. 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. Okay, so as you can hear from that, I'm changing the notes I play as the chords change. So it sounds like I know what the changes are, and I'm describing them quite well as I'm playing all the notes that form the chords. But still, I'm only using the notes from one scale, and yes, I'm making the changes, but it still sounds quite formative, quite kind of at a basic level. So let's take it to the next level. We can do this by using leading notes, which are chromatic notes, or it's a half step or a semitone below the focusing notes. So if we're moving from D minor to the G7, we can go via a leading note, which is a semitone, let's say, below a key note. So G7, if we wanted to land on the G7 bar on a B, we'll go via a B flat. What this does is makes it sound more sophisticated because we're using chromaticism and stuff like that. So this is a way of making your playing sound still like you're hitting the key notes at the right places, but via some chromaticism. So it sort of sounds like we're at the next level. Have a listen. 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3. So that's a little bit more interesting, isn't it? Using some notes that don't fit with the chords, but they're used in a way that accentuates the key notes. Now there are of course further examples which we're going to cover in the following videos. We're going to look at the use of guide tones, which is focusing on the key notes. Yes, there are 4 notes per chord that we've just demonstrated, but some of those work better than others, and we can manipulate those to enhance the changes that we make in our blowing. The second is the use of alternative scales and arpeggios over chords that you might not think fit over but do. And the third thing is the use of licks. So we're going to cover all that in the upcoming videos.